therefore to take this opportunity to congratulate all the Zambian workers for commemorating this significant day. We offer praises to the Zambian workers for having been availed and for having been a critical factor of production in our enterprises and in the country as a whole. Guests of honor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this year's Labor Day sessions are being held under the theme Creating Job Creation, Economic Growth. The question one would want to understand is what the theme means and where it should take us. It is clear and indisputable that for many years now, many Zambians have had no jobs, yet eligible to work. We do appreciate the steps the new Dawn government has taken so far in the health and education sector and many other sectors in providing employment. Even then, many Zambians still remain unemployed. This situation of being unemployed has put so many people in desperate positions as they do not find it easy to put food on their table. Since the COVID-19 years, the cost of living remains high. Unemployment, I'll read that again. Since the COVID-19 years, the cost of living remains high. Employment or being a successful entrepreneur brings dignity to individuals and their families. It becomes a source of living, and therefore any action to accelerate job creation at the national level will no doubt be a source of economic growth as the dear theme states. Guests of honor, ladies and gentlemen, economists like the father of economics, Adam Smith, will however argue that it is economic growth that must be realized first before job creation. This is so because economic growth is a primary focus of macroeconomics, which relies on quantifiable metrics such as gross domestic product, GDP, or aggregate of national income. On the other hand, economic development is about specific outcome. It measures number of jobs that support qualitative improvements in people's living standard. Accordingly, the theme, therefore, is reminding us about growing for economy in a manner that must enable the country to create more decent jobs for the people of Zambia. We should therefore ask ourselves as government, private sectors, and the labor movement about what policies or mechanisms have we put in place or must we put in place to grow the Zambian economy to a level that can create the anticipated number of jobs to absorb a good number of the unemployed Zambians. Guest of honor, it is a fact that economic growth leading to accelerating job creation cannot just happen, that it must be supported by pro-employment policies through which the government must create an enabling environment for private sector growth with the most optimal and efficient level of implementation of such policies. Economic success requires creating an enabling macroeconomic environment, investing the private sector, creating a conducive legal and administrative environment that is friendly to business, educating the people and keeping them healthy. It requires providing the right ingredients in the production sector. Zambia Federation of Employers acknowledges the fact that the new Dawn government is mindful of the fact and has so far made strides in creating an enabling business environment, as can be evidenced by pronouncements in the 2023 national budget. This includes incentives and measures targeting the agriculture sector, the tourism sector, and the mining sector. These good measures are being absorbed by current cost of fuel, making the cost of transporting products very high and impacting on the cost of living. Guest of honor, we wish to thank and commend the Energy Regulation Board, ERB, for rejecting the proposal from ZESCO to reduce the lifeline units from 100 kilowatts to 75 kilowatts for residential customers, and for directing the utility companies to maintain current lifeline units at 100 kilowatts at a reduced tariff from 47 ngwe per kilowatt to 14 ngwe per kilowatt. As a huge number of residential customers constitute our employees whose income is already affected by the current cost of living. We also wish to commend ZESCO for having accepted the directive. Our concern, however, guest of honor, is over the approved multi-year tariff from 2023 to 2027 on commercial tariffs scheduled to be increased immediately. Much as we appreciate the fact that ZESCO has been facing financial challenges, mainly arising from the growing gap between revenue operating and maintenance costs, and that it makes business sense for ZESCO to receive positive returns on its investment, we fear that an immediate increase in its excess of 290%, and this has a lot of devastating effects on the manufacturing industries, which ultimately may end up winding off with some of the companies. It is also true in every sense that the proposed multi-year tariff increments will raise the cost of production, which will have a ripple effect on the ordinary citizens. How then is this action speaking to our theme today? It is the view of the Zambia Federation of an enabling environment for private sector, or to grow for private sector to nothing should prevent the state from participating in the running business through state-owned enterprises. We believe that this is the idea behind the creation of Industrial Development Corporation, IDC. As a state-owned enterprise, charged with the mandate to spearhead the Zambian government commercial investment agenda aimed at strengthening Zambia's industrial base. This includes the rural industrialization, developmental activities, and job creation. Where we note the involvement of IDC in investing in terms of shareholding in the foreign companies, Superior Milling, Marco Polo Tiles, Burushi, Nitrogen Chemicals, Zambezi Cash Company, and the others, we wish to see IDC taking keen interest in the mining sector and setting up a state-owned enterprise or enterprises in this sector to mine and utilize the potential that lies in our mineral resources, especially in gold and sugarite. We believe that a move by the state to participate in the mining sector will generate adequate revenue in addition to what the state collects from taxpayers. In this way, the state revenue envelope will increase, and accordingly, financial challenges in the public service delivery will be minimized to a greater extent. State participation in running business may also provide a basis for the state not to overtax its citizens as it has been the case now from the time immemorial. Of honor, ladies and gentlemen, the subject of accelerating job creation can be supported by the new Dawn government positive action of having increased the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, to the current 28 million per constituency. We have witnessed developmental projects taking off at constituency level, which effectively has decentralized the financing of these developmental projects from the headquarters in Lusaka with proper guidance and creating in the Zambian system the proper utilization of this CDF. The proper utilization of this CDF will raise people's living standards, including those in the rural areas. The new Dawn government has set a pace for development and employment creation to be spread geographically. There is already evidence of success stories on constituency development funds, and we commend the government for the achievement and those members of parliament and local authorities for the scores so far scored. In conclusion, we wish to thank every company that has participated today in commemorating this day and those who are participating from home. We just want to remind you that this is your day, so we want to wish you happy Labor Day to all the workers. To all those that are being recognized today in their different categories for their contribution, we say congratulations to you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Those were remarks delivered by the President of the Zambia Federation of Employers. We move on, still hearing from the labor movement, and this time around we will have a speech that will be delivered by the President of the Zambia Congress of Trade Unions, Mr. Bled Mulala. Let's give him a round of applause.
The President of the Republic of Zambia, Hakainde Hichilema, the Minister of Labor and Social Security, Honorable Brenda Mwika Tambatamba, MP, the Labor Commissioner, Evans Mundengwa, Cabinet Ministers and all the constitutional office bearers present here today, the President's FFT unit, Mr. Shingatsi Musiska, my good friend, thank you for being here and thank you for your support. The ILO country representative for Zambia, Malawi, and Mozambique, the Zambia Federation of Employers President Ismaila Sakala, thank you for your remarks which you have just delivered. State chiefs present here, permanent secretaries. I worship the mayor of the great city of Lusaka, senior political leadership, not in any order but around here. The Lusaka DCTU District Organizing Committee, thank you for the job well done. All union leaders present, the workers of this great country around here, and those watching us from home, and those who are in the industries, turning the wheels of our economy. Comrades from the media, thank you for being here. For you are the lights of the nation, and you reach where many of us are not able to reach. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you all. I'm greatly honored to address my fellow workers and the employers in the midst of our chief employer and chief employee at the same time, and who happens to be our guest of honor on this May Day, His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, President of the Republic of Zambia. Guest of honor, allow me to pay tribute to all the Zambian workers in all the different sectors of our economy for their tireless efforts under very difficult circumstances, which is to grow our economy. The workers, we appreciate your hard work, and this is the day where we want to put into consideration your efforts, your strength. You are the nation builders, and without you, there is no economy in the world which can grow. You are the people who turn the wheels of our economic growth, and you deserve to be acknowledged on this day, your day. As labor movement, we believe, guest of honor, that there is no economic and social development which can be supported without the workers who are gathered before you and the workers who are commemorating this very important day. The themes for this Labor Day 2023 talks of acceleration of job creation for economic growth. And we want to pay our attention, guest of honor, that our country is experiencing unemployment levels and the most pressing issue of our present time. And there is an urgent need to put this as priority number one on the agenda item which are before the table. According to the Labor Day, to the Labor Force Survey of 2020, we get the figure that unemployment rate stands at 13.8, while the youth unemployment stands at 19.9%. As of honor, we want to urge government to create jobs which are decent. We want to emphasize on the decent job agenda, because it's only decent job agenda which can help us or help the Zambian worker to escape the poverty which they are experiencing. The rising tides lift all the boats. This is, I think, a saying which is very known to us. We understand where we are coming from and where we are now. In the labor movement, guest of honor, when there are some economic growth and that the economy is trying to recover, our message that we all need to benefit from the recovery process. And this can be only possible if we create locally supported and managed, can I repeat that? If we create jobs that are locally supported and managed largely by the local people. We want to appeal to our colleagues working under the different ministries, especially of immigration. Zambia has a population of skilled workers. We want to appeal to you not to invite excess workers in fields where we have available skills. Can we take advantage of the local skills before we can think of bringing expatriates. We have a lot of expatriates which are obtaining the jobs which many Zambians are supposed to take. Guest of honor, we wish to encourage your government to consider investing more resources in mining, tourism, and agriculture. And when we invest much in this, we are creating business opportunities. We are creating employment for our people. We are also in the same vein worried with the illegal mining taking place around our country. We ask that there should be order in the manner in which the mining is being handled. Where government is losing resources in terms of revenue, and their lives are being lost because of the manner how these activities are being managed. On food security, the labor movement's position based upon is that we encourage governments to put more resources in agriculture sector, where we are able to establish viable farm blocks across the country. And once we have more production, we are going to do away with what we have seen, first recent, where there's illegal trading. Yes, we may call them illegal trading, but in business terms, a business opportunity where he can make money. And we have a nearby gold mine in TRC where all these produce, and we want to appreciate you as our chief marketing manager, case of honor. You have gone around the Southern African regions, and many were not able to understand as to why the president is leaving Europe, why is concentrating on countries which are surrounding us. Not until when we met reality, we appreciate why you said Congo DRC can be a diamond mine for Zambia's products if we can put things in orders. Guest of honor, we call on your government to pronounce itself very clearly on the future of KCM, Mopani, and the closure of Chambeshi. These, if they are not put clearly, they are going to bring about speculations, which are not good for our economy. Furthermore, guests of honor, we are concerned with the delay in reaching a consensus on the debt restructuring process. And you may agree, guests of honor, that the uncertainty about debt restructuring triggered a 30% depression of the kwacha between September 2022 and March 2023, which put pressure on our currency, resulting in an increase in the cost of living. We want a roadmap on the concession, how this is going to be handled, and we want to urge your governments not to follow the path of the past regime, which are an appetite is following, and yet the people who suffer are the Zambian workers. We want to urge you, and we are so appreciative of the measures which you put in place, but take a list from the previous administration. Their appetite for borrowing is the reason why today workers are going through this situation where they have to be the one now funding for the credits which they went into. Excessive borrowing is of honor must be avoided because it comes with a high cost. And the people are going to those who are in government. They are out there, but those who are in government now, they have to answer the questions to how this process is going to take the country. Our concern on taxes, case of honor, we have noted that the majority of the tax measures in the extended credit facility is reflected in the national budget for 2023. It aims to raise the value added tax, and there is also significant reduction which are being made as regards corporate income tax. We are worried that the pay as you earn, while we appreciate this of honor that there are some changes which were made to raise it, but due to the rising cost of living, the take home is not sufficient enough. And therefore, we call for a change to the pay as you earn tax regime by substantially reducing the tax rates. We appreciate what your government has done, especially reducing the electricity tariff, especially for households who are getting less than 100 units a month. But our worry is for those who are getting more than that, they'll still have to meet the costs as long as we have subsequent years of the life plans. Yes, of honor, the tariff adjustments which are being put on the fuel. It's a sort of concern to the workers of this country. The monthly review is not going well with the workers. When the unions go for bargaining process case of honor, what is bargained for depending on their collective agreements, it can only be reviewed maybe a year or so. But the adjustment of fuel, it makes it very difficult for the workers to plan for the costs which are involved in, especially when the farm price has gone up. Therefore, our position is that if this can be reduced to a quarterly basis, which can be predictable, unlike the current situation. We are aware, case of order, that your government, through the Ministry of Labor, they will embark on a process of trying to review the employment contract number 3 of 2019 and the Industrial and Labor Relation Act of Act number 269 of the law. These two legislations are key to the governance of employment relationships and industrial relations in Zambia. Our view and our position is that government must not allow to change the law in the interest of employers in the name of reducing the cost of doing business. We want labor law reforms, and we ask for strong labor laws which can deal with the poverty rates which is obtained especially in the private sector. As I speak to you guys of honor, we have reports of and securities where employers have gone for over 4 months without a pay. And I want to appeal to the conscience of the employers in these security organizations. How are the workers making it to go for work if they cannot be paid their dues within the stipulated time as per our law? We go for laws which are strong labor laws which are going to bridge the gap of the great employers, because we have seen that in the laws which we have, we still have some who are not following the regulations of the law. And we want to appeal to you that the Zambia County Union, which to allow such kind of investments where their focus is on the profits. They need to focus on those who turn the wheels of their businesses. And by doing so, we are going to contribute to the growth of our economy. We cannot grow this economy if those who turn the wheels of the economy are not happy. They are frustrated. They need motivation. And the more you motivate them, the more we have a productive workforce. Guest of honor, on a positive note, I have to the lost people. Yes, I to marry Imloi. I want to repeat that. I hope you got it. Yes, I to marry Imloi. He who does not appreciate the wish, or in other words, he who does not appreciate is born from a wish. Guest of honor, of failing in my duties, it has not mentioned the success which your government has scored within the short period of time which you have been in power. And you remind us of you have brought a change in the political arena where we had the politics of the daily, we are seeing politics of service. And I hope that your cabinet ministers across the country are going to share your vision so that together we are able to deliver and to change Zambia from where it is for a country which is going to be admired by the whole world. I was chatting with my colleagues at this forum in Africa, somewhere in Ghana, and what came out was your name. I say, please, your president is not only a Zambian president, but he is an emerging global leader. Your name has gone high up, and we encourage you to keep it up with the promise which you made. Guest of honor, the democratic credentials have gone up. The recent democracy forum, which was co-hosted and which we held, it was a sign enough for the doubting Thomases that these were not things which were happening. The peace which we are enjoying today, we were not spared at the labor movement. May I be putting on this color, and I need to deliberately put on this color because this is our uniform. This color is a sign for struggle, which we believe in. Before political parties came into existence except unit, we want this red color. But under the previous administration, just the color of the ship, it was a sign enough to be beaten up even on a day. These are realities. We must study history to know the past, where we are coming from, relate it to the present, for us to shape the future which we want. Where we are coming from, even when the state securities are here, they became very powerless that the others were able to reach people. That was the knowledge. We were not spared as a labor movement. Our SG, former SG, Prosper Mukuga, he was retired in national interests. Never again should we have a government in Zambia that will interfere into the operations of the trade unions. Never again should we have a government power that will want to have state capture of all the institutions. We want governments which we have faith, and that successive governments to come. I think we're not allowed to see a different change from what you have founded and the foundations which you have laid. They will rise up and say, not anymore. We are not going to allow this. We have been a peaceful people, and this is happening in a Christian nation where the Bible speaks of how pleasant it is in the eyes of God. I'm quoting from the book of Psalms, chapter 3, verse 1. I'm not a preacher, but we are a Christian nation. How pleasant it is when brothers and sisters in unity. But this unity and peace was robbed away under the time when our democracy was wounded. It came under attack. And I'm proud that the democratic space has been restored back. Guest of honor, there are many achievements which you have done. The recent one, the NAFSA. It's a new era in our country, especially in the labor movement. The workers of Zambia, this is a new page. We are turning away the dark pages of you singing songs, asking for the money which you have worked for. Standing in and being exposed in the heat of the sun, because we had leaders in offices of high responsibility, but were not responsible to the core of their duties. Never again are workers in this country going to suffer to claim that which they have worked for. And this is what we have done. We are able to get our money, and for those who are qualifying to get, our message to you: form ventures with others and put that money to good use. Not money which is Namurazanga. Don't take it into their house. It's the money which we want you to use to invest into ventures which are going to help you in future. Guest of honor, as the trade unions, we are ready to work with your government in all aspects. We shall support you all the times, but when we deeper if there happen to be bad policies, please understand that this is how democracy is. The trade union in Zambia today, they are happy to conduct their elections without any further interference from the states. And this is the democracy which we wanted. Yes, we still call for further reforms under NAFSA in future, especially the benefit structure. The income replacement ratio is not the best at the moment. Guest of honor, all is okay, but I'll be failing in my duty to let you know something which has disturbed the workers of Zambia. The coming in of the moment commission guest of honor is very, very good. And this objective is very, very good. I was awakened last week around past midnight by friends to say, are you aware of what is going to take place? I said, I'm not aware. And we began to wake up in the middle of the night, trying to make capture our colleagues, pleading to say, we in our administration who believe in dialogue and engagements. But the people you appointed in the guest of honor will be very failing in my to let you know that the Emolument Commission, it has a very, very big problem. We have made the attempt to meet them on the 24th of February, case of honor, and we submitted the concerns which were coming from the workers. And the days of Kuhukulobala are gone. And if you have such people in public institutions, then they are in danger to meet our objectives. Case of honor, we don't know where the problem is. Could it be the interpretation of the law that establishes the commission? Or perhaps we have people who are charged with the responsibility to manage the commission who seem to oversee us. As the president of the Zambia Congress of Trade Unions, I did the best I could. I reached one of the people working there, a senior person. He never responds to messages. And here the situation on the field of workers who are saying, we are going to stop work. Our collective bargaining by law allows that they must be done within a 14 days period of time. And once they are done, the copies, 5 copies as provided by law, they must be taken to the Ministry of Labor through the Labor Commissioner's Office for approval. We have collective agreements from over 20 personal institutions which are still pending at the Emolument Commission without being attended. We want to report to you that you have the best team at the Ministry of Labor. We have no issues with the Ministry of Labor, but we have issues with the Emolument Commission. They must change, and they must know that by putting them in those offices, you have given them a duty to respond to the issue of Zambian workers. And we thought they are coming in. These are going to be social partners. But when you call them, say, no, we don't speak to unions, but they are representing the unions welfare. How are we going to work with them? Case of honor. We need your quick intervention in that issue so that there is no industrial unrest under the economical recovery situation in which we are. You can't have an economy which is not doing well and then begin to threaten those who turn the wheels of the economy. Case of honor, as I conclude, may I speak to the hearts of the employers. The Zambia Congress of Trade Union, we have made our stance. We are not going to work with employers who are anti-union. The rights belong to unions, the rights of all the workers in Zambia. And therefore, we are true workers in the Republic to get organized, belong to unions. We want to go for yellow unions. We want unions who are available to us. And if these unions are not available, please, we are in Woodlands, that's where our office is. Any union which is not working, report them. It's no longer labor alone. We are working as a social partner together with the employers. We are aware of some investors. We have made an alliance with the countries where you come from. If you don't listen, we have so many on our agenda, and we'll see how we are going to address the issue of employers who are exploiting our workers, giving them peanut salaries, and then disregarding the labor laws. My message to you is respect our labor laws. Respect our labor laws. Very soon we shall have a register of employers who are anti-union and with poor labor practices. And that's the newsletter will be brought, I think, quarterly. If your name is going to be found there, don't blame us. Now is the time to comply. To you, my fellow workers, thank you for turning up in large numbers. Thank you for your contribution to the growth of our economy, and we encourage you to do the same. Long live the great Zambian workers, long live. Long live the great Zambian workers, long live. Long live the labor movement, long live. May the good Lord bless you. This is your day. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Yabulu, for breaking Mula, President of the National Congress of Trade Unions, for that loaded speech that you just gave. But we do appreciate all the work that fight for the rights of workers across the country. I wish you all the very best in your work.
Indeed, and Honey, as we go towards our keynote session to be delivered out the final guest honor, did you notice that almost all the speakers come from the International Labour Organization on the partial draw? So I've got a question for you, Honey. Have you collected your 20%?
As you undergoing financial literacy courses, then I will apply.
Well, the good thing is all the banks, most of the banks have been immersed in this process, so please feel free to go to your bank, your respective bank. I am only here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a little exercise. Please just ask your neighbor, have you accessed your 20%? If they say no, tell them, what are you waiting for?
All right then, it is now time for us to invite our host minister, and this is the Minister of Labor and Social Security, Honorable Brenda Jambatani, to come and give us her remarks on this day that we're commemorating the International Labor Day. And she will then go on to invite our guest of honor, the President of the Republic of Zambia, to address us. For now, let's put our hands together for the Minister of Labor and Social Security, Honorable Brenda Jambatani.
Mr. President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, the Right Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, I believe represented here by the Deputy Speaker, Madam Honorable Malungo Chisangano, MP, Your Lordship, the Chief Justice, Dr. Mumba Manila, State Council, Cabinet Ministers present here, the Secretary to the Cabinet, Dr. Patrick K. Kangwa, Honorable Members of Parliament present here, Your Worship, the Mayor of the City of Lusaka, Ms. Chinando Chikangala, represented by the Deputy Mayor, District Commissioner for Lusaka, Ms. Rosa Zulu, Senior Government officials, members of the Diplomatic Corps, leaders of the UPND Alliance and partners, leaders of opposition political parties present here, the representative of the International Labour Organization for Zambia, Malawi, and Mozambique, Ms. Beneambeko Alina Munkawa, the President of the Zambia Federation of Employers, Mrs. Myron Goma, the President, Zambia Congress of Trade Unions, Mr. Blake Mulala, the President of the Federation of Free Trade Unions of Zambia, Mr. Chingati Musista, employers and fellow workers here to celebrate today, members of the press, guests of honor, Your Excellency, Mr. President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am happy, extremely happy to stand here before you and be part of this year's Labor Day celebrations. Allow me to extend my gratitude, special gratitude to you, Mr. President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, for accepting our invitation to grace today's occasion. Indeed, May Day is a day that we as a country have set aside to appreciate you, our hardworking workers, and encourage you all to continue working harder to turn the economy around. I recommend you all for the colorful, for the colorful march past and for making this day memorable. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, this commemoration today is the culmination of the collaboration between government, the workers, and employers. So far, Mr. President, we have experienced increased collaboration, cooperation, social dialogue, and ultimately enhanced industrial harmony. My ministry, Mr. President, will continue to work closely with our social partners to promote sustained, inclusive, and full productive employment through the decent work agenda. Allow me to also appreciate our cooperating partners that have consistently supported the development and revitalization of an agile labor market. Mr. President, my ministry has continued to reposition itself to effectively contribute to economic transformation and job creation, and of course, the human and social development pillar of the 8th National Development Plan that you launched this year. A well-managed employment and labor sector is key to a performing socio-economic development strategy of any country. Mr. President, my ministry is intent on enhancing service delivery while ensuring inclusiveness in its undertakings. In so doing, we have operationalized the labor market information system. As part of the exercise, my ministry has procured information communication equipment for all the 54 districts where we have a presence. The labor market information system, Mr. President, will allow real-time tracking and reporting of key indicators for the sector. This will facilitate quick resolution of labor disputes and formulation of appropriate labor market interventions. In this regard, Mr. President, I am delighted to report that in the year 2022, the ministry resolved a total of 19,572 labor disputes as compared to 19,294 cases in 2021. The ministry also facilitated payment of accrued benefits of 25.1 million kwacha last year compared to 17.6 million kwacha in 2021 on behalf of the affected workers. Further, in order to enhance social dialogue between government and social partners, the ministry convened 4 tripartite consultative labor council meetings in order to reach consensus on matters affecting the labor market, including reforms on pension, occupational health and safety, work-based learning. And in addition, my ministry registered 7 trade unions in different sectors to promote the freedom of association of workers as enshrined in the Constitution of Zambia, which is in consonance with the International Labour Organization Convention number 87. Mr. President, in order to increase the visibility of the ministry has embarked on radio and television programs as well as live coverage of labor inspections, which are inclusive and participative, covering all our social partners and other agencies related to the mandate of our ministry. Since last year at Labor Day commemoration, my ministry has conducted a total of 2,932 labor inspections as compared to 2,064 as compared to 2,064 conducted in 2021. The inspections are meant to draw the attention of industry captains to the rule of law in corporate governance. Your Excellency My ministry has also continued to provide up-to-date labor market statistics to facilitate evidence-based decision-making by all sectors of the economy. In 2022, we released the annual labor force survey report and the Zambia productivity report. In addition, the ministry has, through the Kaizen Institute, Mr. President, intensified transformative interventions on productivity with the aim of inculcating a productive mindset amongst the workers. Enterprise productivity support services included engagement with the selected local government authorities. For instance, Pemba District Council. Pemba District Council was able to reduce, because of our interventions through Kaizen, was able to reduce time taken to generate the CDF reports from 25 hours, Mr. President, to 30 minutes. Mr. President, let me take this opportunity to thank the employers for supporting the workers who have turned up in numbers today, not only here in the capital city of Lusaka, but countrywide. This is an indication of the employers and workers' commitment to building harmonious employment relationships. It is therefore at this moment, my singular honor and privilege and rare privilege to invite you, Mr. President, to deliver your second May Day message to the nation, Mr. President sir.
Thank you very much, Minister of Labor, Social Security. Thank you, Madam. You may take your seat, please. You may take your seats. Let me start by recognizing, acknowledging the presence here of yourself, Labor Minister, your colleagues, our colleagues in Cabinet, all of them, and the Speaker of the National Assembly, through our representative, the Deputy, the Chief Justice of our country, and Secretary to the Cabinet, and you, the permanent secretaries that are present here, also the Mayor of Lusaka, and the local government rank and file. I also wish to recognize all our members of parliament that are present here today, and indeed our service chiefs that are present, the diplomatic corps that are present here, our very, very important partners, ZCTU President and your new team, congratulations to you, sir, and also our leader representing the employers, both of whom I'm seated with at this stage. I also wish to recognize the international labor organizations, obviously regional ones as well, and all the unions that represent our workers. Now, it is important for me to also recognize through you, madam, all the employers, all the investors. I am very quick to say that the Labor Day is incomplete if we don't talk about where those workers work, because it's not possible to be a labor person without having an investor. And the investor cannot exist, cannot operate their business without the skills, without labor. So you can see how important these two wings are And number three, the tripartite is incomplete without government. So we are a team. So it's very important that we recognize that we're a team. I must also acknowledge the presence of the media. Very important media, ladies and gentlemen. A lot has been said already, and I do not wish to take too much of your time anymore because the speakers before me have said it all. But I must acknowledge how delighted I am to officiate for the second time at this Labor Day celebrations. As the ZCTU has acknowledged, we as government are employers, but we are also workers. We are also part of you. The flip side of us being employers, we are also employees. This particular one talking here is an employer, yes, as president of Zambia, but is an employee of the 20 million Zambians. I work for the people of Zambia, so I'm your member as well. So when you direct your attention to the government, you are directing your attention to your members. So we, your members, we, your employers, and other employers are delighted to be sitting together here. Now, let me also, very early on in my remarks, acknowledge the hard work that the workers, our labor, in totality, have been basically delivering at the workplaces. We appreciate that all the achievements that have been scored under sometimes challenging working environments are well appreciated by this new dawn government. And I believe any decent government, I dare say. So now, having acknowledged what successes you employees rather, have achieved, our labor has achieved, and it's right to acknowledge that on this Labor Day. It's also important to flip the coin on the other side to acknowledge the employers. And that's why the two are seated together here. It is not by chance. This is deliberate. This is how work is structured. There must be an employer, there must be an employee, and vice versa. And I want to commend the two of you for the industrial harmony that you have achieved in the past year. Extremely important to assuring economic activity, continuation of economic activity. And the theme is completely apt, accelerating job creation for economic growth. When we have industrial disharmony, that's the TU president and Federation of Employers, it means you are slowing down transactions. It means you are suspending transactions. It means you are suspending medical services. And when you do those things in many industries, you basically slow the economy down. A negation of the thing here. And when you slow the economy down, you will basically not create any jobs. The youth need the jobs. Our youth, 60% of our population is young. They need the jobs. For them to have the opportunity to get a job, they need the economy to function 24/7. You heard me. 24/7. And then with growth, we can create jobs. Let me say something that others don't wish to say, because that's the way my brain works, and I need to allow it to work the way it was structured by God. Now here's some hidden issue. It's not just creating jobs that we're interested in. If we are interested in creating jobs, but we want to enhance the jobs of those that are already in employment to make sure that their conditions of service improve. It is important to ensure that businesses are more efficient. They are more, if you like, profitable. They are growing businesses When they grow, the economy grows. Simple as that. There's no magic in it. There's no complication. That's how it works. And in order to remunerate the workers that are already in employment well, Mr. President of the ZCTU, we need to make sure that businesses are successful. Businesses are cutting costs. Businesses are growing their revenue top line. Businesses are also growing the bottom line. When they grow the bottom line, you create an opportunity for what is called savings. When you create savings, now you have an opportunity to invest more. The investments will come from the savings that are generated by businesses that are already in operation. Now you understand. Now we know how it works. But we always know, but we ignore it. And this government wants to remind labor, remind investors, employers, that we are basically married to each other. Government, labor, employers are married to each other. And the agenda is simple. The agenda is to grow the businesses, invest more after you create savings. And then I must hasten again, Mr. President of the labor and the employers, especially labor. I want you to understand, us to understand that if we increase our costs, we have no chance in hell to create savings. And if we can't create savings, we can't reinvest. If we can't reinvest, we can't grow the economy. Then we can't create the jobs. Then we negate the theme, accelerating job creation for economic growth. I hasten to say here, for enhancing employee better conditions of sex. That is what it is. Now, I heard your message there. I'm always what I call a perpetual learner, learning every moment. I heard the message from the Federation of Employers. Your message is two of you, is our message. Just flip the coin again. Here is what we are asking for in government. You have workers in government, isn't it? We, the workers in government, employed by the people of Zambia. Now, we must be conscious that we are employed to serve the people that put us in office, the people of Zambia. In order to do that, we must reduce the cost of running government. And one of the things this government is keen on is to work on reducing wastage in public offices, ministries, local governments, parastatos, regulatory bodies. Now, Mr. President, here is what we need from you. We need your support in this agenda to cut expenditure. I'm talking about unnecessary expenditure so that we can create savings. Part of that expenditure is to ensure that we do not operate that Gulf Stream. It's so expensive, the running costs are too high. What else? Presidential jet I'm talking about. That's why you see me, I don't use it. Because the cost of running that plane is too high. Should have never been bought. We need a union to support us. What else do we want you to support? We don't want government ministers driving VXs, expensive VXs. It's not just the cost of buying the VX. It's maintenance, it's fuel. When you switch that engine, 1 liter. 1 liter of fuel. The president will not continue talking about this alone. We want you, the unions, to talk about it. When we save money through the purchase price of that VX, and there are too many of them. I have gone around, the president of the union. Part of my school, I went to England, and I also worked there. I don't see ministers in a rich country driving expensive vehicles. What is this appetite we have here to drive expensive vehicles when those who employ us don't even have a bicycle? What is the issue there? what is the issue. So we don't want those who are driving VSs, starting with the ministers, and some of those are permanent secretaries, directors, who are your members, our members. We don't want them to table that complaint to you. When they table it, tell them that remove this item because we don't agree with it. I am serious about it. One VS can sink 20 boreholes, 30 boreholes for a clinic in the rural areas, can build maternity wings, can buy medicines, can buy desks. Mr. President, we are partners. We should be partners in this agenda. I am the only one talking about it. Why are you not talking about it? From today, you must be talking about it. Mambo mweo. Mambo mweo. Now, how can this employee punish fellow employees? I want to make that point very clear today. Our intention is not to punish anybody because a lower level car is safe enough, it's efficient enough, it's cheaper enough to buy, it's cheaper enough to operate. You still go to work decently. That's the message. Please don't take a wrong message from here. But we want to see the same amongst the union leaders. Same prudence. Same prudence. Same amongst parastatals. I'll tell you, Mr. President, after we formed government, one parastatal ran an advert to buy latest PXs. I called the chief executive. I said, you cancel that advert now. Now, you cancel that advert. Because prudence must be everywhere. And when we save that money, Mr. President, we can invest it where it's needed. We can pay more meal allowances for our students. We can pay for more bursaries. I can go on. I love this story. And I want it to sink in our minds that at an individual level, we must be self-conscious that this country has to go through a restructuring process to rebuild the economy, to create jobs, more labor members. Are you not happy that we employed 30,000 teachers and we gave you more members? I'm sure they're subscribing more to the union. And that's good, isn't it? But, but the government should not be the only employer employing those numbers. It is the Federation of Employers. So we want to work with the Federation of Employers, with the labor unions, as government and ourselves, three of us, to close the doors. I heard you on the Emoluments Commission. It was never designed to be a problem. It was designed to be a solution. And if there's a problem, don't go in the streets, Mr. President. Let's sit in the boardroom. And I've directed the minister, as you are speaking, to quickly call a meeting so that you can chat, isolate the problem areas, and resolve them, and we continue working. I don't believe in street protests myself, Mr. President. I've never believed it. That's why immediately we formed government, we brought law and order. Before here, you will have had a group there shouting and sharpening matches on this road. On level. You will never see anything like that. Because we're an orderly group of people. And we want order in this country. When we have order, we will think better. We will work together better. We will grow the economy, we will create more jobs for our youth. I really, really believe in what I said. When we were in opposition with the President of the Union and Federation of Employers, we said the best way of restructuring this economy is to educate our population. And free education was a must. Mr. President, everybody argued that it was not possible. We come in government, it's free education up to grade 4. Now, we have given the best inheritance to our children, the best investment to our children, the best investment skills for the Federation of Employers, and also an opportunity to give you more members to be part of your union. That's how it works. We also say that we'll increase CDM. Thank you for recognizing that, both of you. So we can take money into the community. The community is separate the city. The city is including investments. And there is 28.3 billion. Walking the talk. Now, never before in this country, Mr. President, did you ever have scholarships decided at a constituency level? Which child, our Chiwa, are now able to get a scholarship decided by people in that constituency, in that community, because they're the ones who know the children, not the Bastards community. You see now. One more step. What else, Mr. President? In that CDF skills training, not everyone can go to university. The Federation of Employers doesn't need graduates only. They don't need graduates, but they need a plumber. They need a carpenter. They need a metal worker, fabrication. The skills were done in this country. So, now we're rebuilding the skills. And many kids that couldn't make it to the college or university are now going through skills training. And we're reviving those skills training across the country. What does that do? Prepares our young kids for employment. Now, which employment? Formal employment. Which one else? Self-employment. We want to bring back dignity around self-employment. As a young self-employed person, Mr. President, I did not receive any respect, but I didn't need it anyway. I went ahead and continued doing what I was doing. It's very important to respect and to acknowledge and to define means of labor, jobs, employment to include self-employment, and support those who employ themselves. They've actually done government a favor because instead of queuing for a job, they are working for themselves. And many times they'll employ 1, 2, 3, 4 more people. Very important. I wanted to send that message on today's Labor Day that we must change the curriculum. Part of labor preparation, part of employment is to teach our young people financial literacy at an early age. To teach our young people IT skills at an early age. To teach our young people entrepreneurial skills at an early age. To teach our young people anti-corruption skills at an early stage. So they know that this belongs to someone, this belongs to me. You only use and take what is yours. What is not yours, leave it for the owner. We are struggling now to fight corruption because what the households should have taught the children, they didn't teach them. What the churches should have preached to the children, they didn't preach enough. So the union itself, globally, must also include anti-corruption, support and training. Because sometimes we have conflict there with the unions, protecting corrupt people, taking away money, reducing resources available for revenue generation, for jobs. How do we accelerate job creation? That's the message I wanted to deliver today. Primarily around there. Let me return to what I said earlier. We committed, when we observed, when we were in opposition, we observed that a lot of people never got their pension money until they died. A lot of them. And when they got it, it was too small, coming every month. 200 kwacha. What can you do with 200 kwacha per month? Pension money. So we thought ingeniously, we will make this money available to the owners when they still have energy, when they are still alive, then they can invest that money and self-employ and employ an extra person. What response did we get? We said we know what we are doing. Let me declare today, Mr. President, and the people present, we started running this country well when we were in opposition. We started preparing how to run this country when we were long, deeply in opposition. That's what you do when you want to serve the public. You don't just throw yourself in there. How are you going to operate? You have to think through these things. So when we thought through these things, arising from the challenges we're seeing, people were unemployed, were not paid their terminal benefits 20 years after leaving office. You remember? When we come in office, 1 year, 7 months, we've almost dismantled the retirement benefits going back 20 years. 20 years. Those that are coping up, Mr. President, let's bring them to the table. Let's discuss, and this government is committed. It is their duty to pay them. If it's another organization, this government is your partner to persuade that organization, to require that organization to pay those retirement benefits to those who own it. What else is this government? Quickly, in 1 year, 6 months, we were able to work out all the technicalities, the financial feasibility. Already we have started working on it anyway. And today, Kanapsa Zangena, it's not a joke, it's real. Our message, Mr. President, let us work together to educate those who are getting the 20% NAPSA withdrawal, not to consume all of it. This country developed the habit of consumption and dancing around. And developed the habit of investing. Even the small amount that you have, you can invest in revenue generating venture. That will now allow us to achieve the objective for which it was set. So you invest when you are alive, when you have energy. Sometimes if you leave this to the time you die, your children may have no capacity to follow through the paperwork. And in the end, you die in a very, very difficult situation. Let's appreciate these decisions. They don't come by chance. They are well thought out. They are orchestrated. They are deliberate. Now you and us must work together to educate, to encourage the owners of the money. We don't own it. We can only encourage it to invest at least something out of that 20%. So you don't walk in the situation you are now. Remember, there was an issue of public sector debt, workers borrowing Kalova. We thought through all those issues that to keep you away from Kalova, we must give you your money, which you don't have to pay interest on. This is it. This is an after withdrawal. Now we are looking at other areas. Very, very serious. But let's work together to find other opportunities so that we can work as a team. I wish to say, Mr. President, we don't want to create trouble for anyone. When we took office, our intention was not to create trouble for anyone, but to find solutions for the people. But solutions must be appropriate. Solutions must receive feedback. We want you to give us the feedback on the NAPSA 20% withdrawal. Are there new challenges? How can we better as we look at other solutions? We heard you very loudly when you were speaking there. The issue around conditions of service, labor laws. Let's work together to address it. The labor laws must always be forked. A fork. Always. We want to better the conditions of workers. We are working on that. We're already signing some of the laws. But you are seated next to an employer. We also want to make it easier for her to invest and to succeed in business. That is the other fork. That fork you need to be alive to all the time. Madam, you need to be alive to making the conditions of workers better. Because if they are not happy, they will not be productive in your working environment. Equal, the opposite is true. Then we have a harmonious economy. And from today, Mr. President, let us not say government there do this. employer there do this. And we in government and those who are employers should say workers must do this. We must close the door and sit in that room and look at how we can improve the lot of the workers, at the same time improve the businesses, at the same time be able to have a government that is working with you, providing the environment that will achieve this, if you like, job creation, economic growth. I can assure you, if there's a government that understands this subject, it's a new government. It is a new government. But it's not a master of everything. This government, they get this and that wrong. We acknowledge that. But when you are there, we are there as partners together who correct those mistakes. But our intentions are well-meaning all the time. Our intent is well-meaning. Our intent is never to make anyone worse off. One of the things I like what you said there is the debt mountain. When we were telling our friends, don't borrow, and don't borrow for consumption, and don't borrow at a high cost, they thought it was politics. See where we are now. If there's anything keeping us, a python around our bodies, as an economy, as a people, is a debt. And I like your message there. Let's work together to achieve debt restructuring like yesterday. I can tell you that we're sleepless nights on this issue. But those who created the debt are busy making noise outside there. Very busy making noise every day. Every day. They've been saying, oh, the IMF is a monster. But they went to the IMF 3 times and they failed. Why were they going to the IMF? Whose IMF? It's our IMF. We're shareholders in the IMF. It's our IMF. We are telling, we are asking, we are working with the IMF, with the World Bank, with the bond holders. So that's where the PF went to the bond holder, a private sector window, and borrowed so much money at a high cost, and they consumed that money through corruption. Today they are standing on the anti-use saying this, that, new dawn. The new dawn is a serious government. The new dawn listens. The new dawn government cares for the people. The creditors couldn't be paid. We defaulted in 2019. Actually, the default signs were there before COVID, but we're using COVID to hide behind COVID. No, COVID came later. The destruction came earlier. The message is that we must learn our lessons. I like what you said. History is important. Today we talk about the Holocaust, how the Jews were killed, millions of them. Why do we talk about it? We don't want another leader to do it again, ever. So I agree with you, we agree with you. We don't want another government to come and borrow recklessly at a high cost and consume the money they borrow. Then we are in debt. President Manawasa, may so rest in peace, cleaned up our balance sheet. A few years later, we allowed another debt mountain, a vicious one for that matter. Why are we repeating the same mistakes every now and then? We must bring an end to such behavior because the pain is felt by workers, it's felt by families, it's felt by children in school. That's why there was no free education. Now we brought it back. It is how a country must learn to be serious. These are the mistakes we've been making. But who is helpful now? The one who brought you the debt mountain carelessly and consumed it through corruption, or the one who is cleaning it? Very simple. Who is your friend? The one cleaning the debt mountain. But you are the problem, you the people of Zambia. You the workers and unions, you are the problem. Because after 10 years now, you want to return to another careless government. And you'll be singing in the streets. Let's learn our lessons. Let's learn our lessons. I want to say in closing partnership must endure. Labor, representing workers' interests. Employers, representing investors. Government, separate of both of you. Three of us must work very hard, must bring back the culture of hard work in our country. Too much laziness and dancing around. The culture of hard work. Any successful nation in the world, look at their history. They work very hard. We must work hard. If you are an employee, you are employed, you must pinch your skin and say you are lucky to be employed in a country where a lot of people are looking for jobs. And since you are employed, you are lucky. Do your best, whatever job you have. That's my message on today's level. Look after the youth. Starts with education, artisanal skills. Mr. President, we are working on artisanal mining, and we are shameless, practicing positive discrimination. Artisanal mining license is only be given to Zambian citizens. Full stop. Nobody else. Yes, other licenses will give to large firms. Local investors, foreign investors, we love them. They have their best. But the small artisanal mines will be for Zambian citizens only. That's why we're restructuring the cadastre there, to follow through the mistakes, the carelessness that we saw in the 10 years past. So we can create millions of jobs today, but safely. I want to agree with you. We don't want our young people to die by mining illegally, 1, 2, and poor mining methods. I was in Userenge yesterday. Small miners are using mercury to treat metal. Mercury is polluting our river system. We can't do that. So I agree with you 100%. So let's continue working as a partners. To the workers of Zambia, once more, thank you very much for your resilience. We really appreciate what you're doing. Thank you, and thank you so much. We wish you a very successful Labor Day. But it's Labor Day every day. It's Labor Day 365 days in a year. It's Labor Day. It's Investment Day. It's Government Day. It's Zambia Day. Every single day. Let's work to succeed. Let's work not to fail. And we shall succeed. God bless you all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Those were remarks delivered by the guest of honor, the President of the Republic of Zambia, as we mark the 2023 International Labor Day. Indeed, a call to hard work, resilience, commitment, and of course, love for country as we do our work in our various spheres. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now proceed on our program and go to entertainment, which will be delivered by the Amayenge Band, after which we will have an awards ceremony. The President will be able to award certain notable workers, and of course, this is something to look forward to. Let us stand by for entertainment. Very much, Hakainde. Reminding us to celebrate this day, celebrate being employed, celebrate being part of the job sector. And of course, that was Amayege Asoza. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we now proceed and we will go into the 11th Day Awards presentation by the President of the Republic of Zambia. And of course, the President will be accompanied by the host minister, the Minister of Labor, as well as representatives from the labor unions.
And so we will call five workers who will be presented with their awards by the President. And we have more workers who will be awarded today, but these will be awarded by the Honorable Minister of Labor. The President himself will give out 5 awards. So 5 have been chosen from all of those that are recipients today. So we will humbly ask that our guest of honor, the President and the host minister, get up the presidents of both NCTU and ZFP, take position in readiness to confer the awards on the 5 awardees, 5 workers who have been drawn from a variety of workplaces, sectors. Some exciting announcements among these 5. So we ask that you please pay attention, and also that you encourage them and appreciate as we let you know what it is that they have done and why they are being awarded. And so for those that will be called out, I'm sure you have been informed, please move as quickly as you can. Please move as quickly, Mr. President, sir. Where? Please. Hope we have enough space. Then we stand there. Please create space so that indeed the recipients come through.
The President and the Minister of Labor, as well as our labor representatives, will go right down. I'd like to request my colleagues from the media to kindly just make space for the guest of honor and the minister. This space also should be enough for the award recipients as well to be able to walk through. As earlier announced by my colleague Buddy, we have 5 awards that will be given by the guest of honor, after which the Honorable Minister will hand over the remaining awards. We are standing by for the presentation of awards by the President of the Republic of Zambia.
And so, for the 5 recipients who will come to be awarded by the President, we ask that you move as quickly as you can Please walk down, shake the hands of the President, the Minister, and the two Presidents of the President. And he received your certificate or whatever prize it is that you have been given. Then ask us to pause just for a second or two for a picture, and then proceed on so that we can call the others to come. The first recipient this is the first time a worker from this particular sector is being awarded, and this is from the domestic workers. So this is the very first time a domestic worker is being awarded. And this award is going to Ms. Mishili Salome Banda, and she has worked for her employer, Mrs. Mukamba, for 7 years, given 7 years of dedicated service. And the employer, listen to this, all of you that have domestic workers in your households, the employer has been faithfully remitting her NAPSA contributions for all the 7 years. So even if you're a domestic worker, you also qualify for 20%. You can claim it. So she's being awarded for most hardworking and dedicated 7 years of unbroken service to her employer, Mrs. Mukamba. That award goes to Ms. Mishili Salome Banda. And the prize that she receives is a 55-inch plasma TV and a Gold TV bouquet for 1 year to read. So she will certainly enjoy that TV. That's Ms. Mishili Salome Banda. Another big round of applause for her. The first ever domestic worker to be awarded the Labor Day Award.
Congratulations to that award recipient. Next, ladies and gentlemen, is an award recipient by the name of Mrs. Gladys Mulongoti for being the most hardworking employee. And the name of the institution that is given this award is Skent House. This award recipient is an assistant accountant, the most hardworking. Mrs. Gladys Mulongoti was born on 3rd April 1967. She began working in the civil service on 22nd April 1988 as a clerical officer at the Ministry of Education headquarters. Later, she was attached to the teachers' mechanized salaries to help manage the payroll. In November 1999, she was transferred to, at that time, the Central Statistics Head Office. Later in November 2000, she was transferred to State House as accounts assistant. Congratulations, Mrs. Mulongoti, on that award for being the most hardworking employee. Ms. Gladys Mulongoti is the recipient of not just the award, but also a double door fridge.
The next recipient is also from State House, and this award this time is going to a man, Mr. Masondo Matunge, for the longest serving employee. He's a senior chauffeur at a State House, and he is receiving a Jigayo. Now, Mr. Masondo Matunge was born on the 30th of October 1962. He was first appointed to public service as a general worker at State House on the 1st of October 1987. He worked diligently until he was promoted to the position of bedroom attendant. Later, he upgraded his skills and rose to the position of driver, still at State House. Masondo Matunge continued to work hard and with loyalty until he was promoted to the position of senior chauffeur. Mr. Matunge served all the 7 Republican presidents, beginning with Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. His last day of working was yesterday, Sunday, the 30th of April 2023, as a senior chauffeur. He therefore deserves to receive the award of the longest-serving employee at State House, having worked at State House for 36 years. And he lives with Ejikayo to feed this community wherever it is he will be.
Next up is an award that is courtesy of Evelyn Horn College And this award goes to a carpenter for being hardworking. The award is being presented to Mr. Christopher Mwansa. And Mr. Mwansa walks away with the deep freezer. Congratulations, Mr. Christopher Mwansa, a carpenter, being presented with a deep freezer, and of course, an award for being hardworking. And he receives that award. In absentia. Ladies and gentlemen, we move on now to the Ministry of Labor and Social Security Awards, being given to the Minister's driver, Mr. Walia Shibota, for being a hardworking and dedicated employee. And here it is. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? Mr. Shibota receives a coupon worth 7,000 kwacha. So plus the partial withdrawal, he receives the 7,000. He's a very, very happy man. Congratulations, that is an award courtesy of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. Mr. Wale Shibuta is the minister's driver, and of course being recognized for being hardworking, dedicated, and being selfless and committed to duty. Congratulations. Now, one of the things that we have noticed in the 2023 award ceremony is that for the very first time, sectors that have not been recognized have been recognized today. The domestic worker, we have seen a chauffeur and a carpenter as well, definitely speaking to the spirit of inclusivity.
Well, if I was in my usual duty where I work, I would say, breaking news. This just in, the recipient, Mr. Matunge Masondo, from State House, he not only goes away with the hammer meal, the senior chauffeur who served all presidents that have served this country, the current president, so the current president of the Republic of Zambia, standing in front of us, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, is adding to the package that he is receiving 1,000 kwacha for every year of service. So he worked for 36 years, then for 36 times 1,000, 36,000 kwacha. And this is from the president himself, to add on to everything else receiving NAPSA, Amamio, everything else from the president. 36,000. But a big round of applause to the president.
Congratulations, and indeed, what a special gift on Labor Day. Indeed, hard work pays. We have the representative of various institutions here also giving away various awards, which will be delivered very, very shortly by the Honorable Minister of Labor. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, we continue with our program. We will ask you to be upstanding as we stand by to sing the national anthem. And then we will have the continuation of Labor Day Awards presentation by the Minister of Labor and Social Security. Ladies and gentlemen, let's stand by for the national anthem. Thank you very much. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to announce that the President will now take leave. And as the President departs, a reminder to all of us to still remain here as we continue with the awards ceremony. The remaining awards will be delivered by the Minister of Labour. Indeed, a special day for the workers, those that have received awards, and those in various parts of the country that are also being recognized. You are important. Ladies and gentlemen, the Labor Day commemorations continue as we stand by for the awards to be delivered by Minister